Why you mad, bro? I ain't mean to make you sad, yo, my bad, bro. So what you mad for? Why you mad, bro? Why you mad? Why you mad? Why you mad, bro? Michael Jackson made too much happy music before he died. I preferred him when he was darker. If I seem a little bit off tonight, my ex-girlfriend and I have been arguing. You tell me if I'm wrong, but, you know, one night she was feeling kinkier than usual, and she said to me, stick it wherever you want. So, you know, I fucked her sister. But we had been together for like 5 years, and people always said, oh, you gotta add spice to your sex life, which to me sounded like there's some kind of pussy paprika out there. But, you know, I couldn't find it on Amazon. I'd been trying to get her to do anal sex. She didn't like the idea of anal sex at all. She always thought it was, like, weird that I wanted her to wear a strap-on. So, yeah, now I don't have a girlfriend as much as I used to. One of my ex-girlfriends, she weighed about 85 pounds. You might be thinking she had a bit of a weight problem, but, you know, that's about average considering she was 9. I mean, if it makes you feel any better, I was like 10 at the time, so. I really like that joke because it starts out like really terrible, but when you think about it, it's actually kind of cute. Like. But I really did date a girl who was bulimic, but I'm an alcoholic, so I would get like really drunk and then throw up, and then she would like eat a salad and then throw up, and we would hug, and it would be beautiful. But at first, I didn't know she was bulimic. Like, she would always tell me, oh, I'm gonna take a shower, but her showers would take like 2 hours long, so I confronted her, and I was like, why do you always take these long-ass showers? Like, I would still love you if you smelled like year-old vagina. By the way, when I say year-old vagina, I don't mean like a baby vagina, because I promise I've never smelled that, but like if I had a vagina and I left it out to rot, well, not if I had a vagina, but like if I was in possession of one, no body attached, especially not mine. I just wanted to clarify in case God is watching. I don't want to wake up tomorrow and have those parts. Not that I have anything against being a woman. I just really like to drink when I pee, so I feel like one of those fountain statues. This is all irrelevant, but if I had a vagina and I left it out to rot for a year, that smell right there, that is what I'm talking about. But the point is, she told me that she was bulimic, and I found it hard to swallow. Towards the end of the relationship, we just like ended up arguing about everything, and eventually she just threw up her hands. That was a horrible choice of wording. I've been dating, and it's difficult because I heard that girls like two kinds of guys. There are the guys that are funny, and then there are the guys that are dangerous. So whenever I date a girl that doesn't laugh at my jokes, I stab her. I got that advice from T.I. Y'all are a white crowd, so you don't really know who T.I. is. But for my token black table over there, y'all know who T.I. is, right? Yeah, see, all the white people in here, they thought it was a calculator. But dating is also difficult for me because I'm like 80% deaf. You know, I grew up deaf, and kids used to always make fun of me and call me names like, well, I didn't hear them, but I'm sure it was mean. And growing up, you know, I had 30 surgeries. I used to be afraid of doctors, but mainly because I used to listen to NWA a lot. But like growing up, I didn't know that Dr. Dre wasn't a real doctor. He used to scare the shit out of me. I was like, Mommy, I don't want to go to the doctor. He's going to pop a cap in my ass. And because I'm deaf, I have a speech impediment. Someone once told me I sound like I have a dick in my mouth. I was like, Dad, do you want me to finish or not? Yeah, don't feel bad for me. He had a very tiny dick, non-invasive. You couldn't even tell if it was in or not. It was like Schrodinger's penis. He used to wear like a Chinese finger trap on it as like a little penis corset to make his balls look bigger. They kicked us out of the Rent Fest though. But when you're deaf, you know, I'll strike up a conversation with a girl, and then she'll ask me a question, and I won't hear it, but I'll still try to answer it, which is a horrible idea. But my options are I can say yes, no, or I don't know. And if you say I don't know, you're not normally obligated to answer the question. So I do that a lot. The problem is when she asks me something really basic, like, what's your name? And I say, I don't know, and then just walk away. She probably thinks I'm having an identity crisis, and I'm gonna walk around the bar for the next 2 hours wondering what the fuck my name was. By round of applause, do we have any single people in the audience? All right, you've initiated step 1 of your pregnancy. And if you tell me you have a boyfriend, I know that you're lying, because that's what girls do, am I right? And guys, we catch on to that. So the next time someone's hitting on you and you don't want to have sex with them, don't tell them I have a boyfriend, just tell them I have chlamydia. And if he's still willing to have sex with you after you tell him you have chlamydia, personally, I think he's a keeper. That's the person that will never judge you based on your flaws. Okay, real quick, what's your name?
Cat.
What?
Cat.
One more time. I just said I was half deaf like 5 seconds ago. Are you fucking retarded? Like if a blind guy asked you how old you were, would you hold up your fingers? But I don't understand why women are so pretentious. Like, I understand the guys compliment women all the time, and guys, you gotta stop doing that. But girls, just because a lot of guys tell you that you're fuckable doesn't mean that you're attractive. Like, guys, we'll fuck a toaster if it doesn't burn our dick off. You can stick your dick in a toaster, but it's still a toaster. I don't know what that means. It's just funny to say. And it's not that I want to have sex with you. It's not that. I mean, I just put a lot of effort into shaving my balls, and I don't have a woman to appreciate that with me. I mean, I assume you're a woman. I don't know what you've got going on down there, but I'm not going to spend $5 in a bathroom to find out. I tried out online dating. I don't know if you ever tried out online dating, but I don't recommend it. I went out with this one girl, and she was like cute in all of her photos, but they're all like taken from the neck up, which is a huge red flag. I went to go pick her up, and fucking Hulk Hogan in a forklift couldn't pick her up. I mean, she wasn't just fat. She was like Violet in the Willy Wonka movie after she ate the blueberry bubble gum, like huge. But all of her weight went to her body. None of it went to her face, so it was like she was a giant boob, but her head was the nipple. And I couldn't be like, oh, hell no, then drive off, because that would be rude, right? So she got into the car, the entire thing drops like hydraulics. I'm in a fucking lowrider now. A Mexican guy drives by, he's like, orale! So we're at the dinner table. There's kind of an elephant in the room, but she was the elephant. And she was talking about her hair or whatever. She was like, should I cut it or should I grow it out? And I'm like, dye it. And she's like, what color? I'm like, no, you need to dye it. By the way, if you're fat and offended by these jokes, lighten up. Yeah, if you didn't laugh at that, you didn't get it. But I really hope that I can get famous so that joke can reach a larger audience. And for whatever reason, she smelled like 90-year-old cock. Don't ask me why I know what 90-year-old cock smells like. He told me he had candy. But she's like, I like guys who are funny, which is why you're my type. And I'm like, I like girls who look like models, which is why you're not. So I was fucking her later that night. My toaster was broken. But I need to get a girlfriend. I've been caught masturbating way too many times in my life. One time my ex-girlfriend caught me masturbating to bondage porn. And she did that thing that girls do when they're like really insecure. She was like, do you wish I was her? Do you wish that was me? I was like, yeah. And she's like, why? Do you think she's prettier than I am? And I'm like, no, but unlike you right now, she has a gag in her mouth. Like, I don't know what the average is, but growing up, my mom caught me masturbating 13 times. You would think that by the 12th time, she would start locking the door when she's taking a shower. One of the more humiliating times was when my mom and her boyfriend both came home. They caught me masturbating to Sabrina. Not that show with the witch. Sabrina was the girl I was babysitting at the time. And then there was this other time where I found Muppet porn online. It was like Kermit and Miss Piggy, but Miss Piggy was tied down to the bed. She was trying to say something, but she had a frog in her throat. And Miss Piggy's like, get off! And Kermit's like, what do you think I'm trying to do? Anyway, the manager at Starbucks told me I had to leave. In retrospect, I should have been wearing headphones. So I got arrested. That's not the first time I got arrested. I got arrested once for child trafficking. I don't sell them. I just throw them out into the interstate. The arresting cop said he had to do a cavity search. I'm like, sir, I don't know where you went to dental school, but there's no teeth up there. The last time I got arrested, I was out metal detecting. You can find like jewelry and like necklaces and whatever, or coins. And I was out metal detecting, and this crazy lady comes up to me and she starts yelling at me. She's like, you're a heathen and you're going to go to hell for all of eternity. And I'm like, look, this is a public graveyard. And your dad really didn't need that watch anymore. You ever have a girl choke while giving you a blowjob? I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't happen that often for me. I mean, I'm not that big. I've considered moving to China so I could tell people I'm average. So the first time it happened to me was the best day of my life. For 24 hours, I knew what it was like to be black. Like, I got drafted, I dropped 3 mixtapes, it was dope. Like, I did some unnecessary shit. Like, I bought a selfie stick to take dick pics. Yeah, this ain't even gonna be long enough, bro. This ain't even gonna be long enough. And she wanted me to reciprocate, and I'm cool with that. This isn't my first time, but at that point in my life, all the vaginas that I had encountered were domesticated. She had what you call a feral pussy. Her clit was in its natural environment. And I'm not talking about like a little bit of peach fuzz. This thing had a beard like a serial killer. And I was trying to get into it, but it's kind of like kissing my grandpa. The only difference is I knew that she wasn't going to give me $5 and then tell me this is our little secret. And while we're on the topic, I have a public service announcement for men. If you're still licking pussy in 2018, you're doing it wrong. You're supposed to suck on the clit. You know, it's like a dick. I wonder if gynecologists have to argue with strippers about who owes who money. Not that long ago, I was talking to a friend of mine who I've known since high school, and he said, you know, Alan, you're actually kind of lucky, you know, to be deaf. You know, sometimes I wish I could block out all this noise. And I was thinking about it, I'm like, deafness is probably the only disability where somebody can say something like that and not sound like a complete fucking asshole. Like, imagine if I went up to a blind guy in the street and I'm like, dude, you are so fucking lucky to be blind. Like, every time I look at the sun, my eyes gotta hurt. You probably save so much money because you don't gotta buy a replacement light bulb. I mean, as far as you're concerned, every single girl you've ever been with is a 10. I'm jelly as fuck. Or going up to a paraplegic like, dude, I would trade my legs to not have to wait in line at fucking Disney. Dude, deactivate your Facebook account. When it says this user is disabled, you can sue the fuck out of them. Or going up to like a little retarded kid, like, listen, you're so lucky to be retarded. Nobody ever made you do algebra. Algebra's fucking hard. Look, kid, you want to know how hard algebra is? Try counting to 20. That's how hard algebra is. For the normies. Anyway, I was out driving earlier and I saw this guy who was texting in his car, which pisses me off, but like not even 5 minutes later, he got into an accident. I got to admit, that's kind of funny. That's irony. I mean, yeah, I hit him. He was a dick. He got out the car and started yelling at me. I'm like, dude, you shouldn't have been texting in the car. He was like, we're in a parking lot. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm sorry your daughter's dead. No, I get why you think I'm a bad person. A fictional character died in that joke. Meanwhile, J.K. Rowling's killed everyone, including the fucking house elf, and she's a literary genius. Yeah, I call that joke Dicks Out for Dobby. Sometimes I don't know what's wrong with people. The other day I went to the grocery store. There was a guy inside wearing sunglasses. Do you also wear a condom when you jack off? And if it's not bad enough that he's inside wearing sunglasses, the dude brought his fucking dog with him. I don't know, man. Sometimes I just fucking hate people. Like, I saw some shit online earlier that pissed me off. It's real. It's here in Maryland. You can Google it. But it's called the Underground Railroad Experience Trail. The Underground Railroad Experience Trail. I had to repeat that because some of you don't speak fluent fuckboy. Now, it sounds like a ride at Disney, but it's just a fucking hiking trail. What you're not going to find on the Underground Railroad Experience Trail is black people. And there's two reasons for that. Number one, no black person is going to go out on a hiking trail with a bunch of old-ass white people. They still might try and catch your ass. And number two, black people just really don't fuck with woods like that. Now, I'm not saying all black people, but the last time I saw a black dude next to a forest, Bubba died in Vietnam. I knew y'all weren't going to like that joke, but I did it anyway. Fuck it. If you've never seen Forrest Gump, go home and watch it. That's a good fucking joke. Then go online, look me up, come to my next show, because I'm doing it again. Fuck it. But I've been thinking about it, and the thing that bothers me about the Underground Railroad Experience Trail, especially because all the people on it are old white people wearing insect repellent and fanny packs, is the word experience, because experience implies that the conditions that they have to go through when walking on this trail is even remotely similar to the experience that slaves had to go through in order to reach freedom. It's 2 miles long. 2 fucking miles. Dude, Usain Bolt could have ran that shit in 5 minutes. Fact. Usain Bolt runs 23 miles per hour. 2 miles at 23 miles per hour is 5 minutes. That's not racist, that's math. A light-skinned black dude could have done that shit in 10 minutes. All right, that was racist. But the point is, it's a stupid fucking name. That would be like if I invited everybody here to come over to my house and I had you all stand in my shower and they called it the Auschwitz experience. Fuck, man, I'm getting old. Like, I noticed it the other day. I got this new college kid fucking moved in next door. And he threw a party, and then I'm now officially that guy that shows up on his door at fucking 12 o'clock in the night, banging on his door like the music is too loud, I can smell marijuana from my fucking place, and I'm gonna have to call the cops if you don't give me some. I talked to my nephew the other day. He's in middle school, and he told me they did a survey. And it turns out that 80% of the kids in his school are smoking marijuana. I'm like, dude, that is fucking sad, isn't it? Like, there are so many better drugs. Y'all need some fucking acid, man. Acid will make you see some shit that you've never even noticed in your fucking life. Like, I was watching cartoons. Why the fuck does Marvin the Martian have on a tutu and a Spartan helmet? This motherfucker's on the moon doing a ballet rendition of 300. For Sparta! You ever just get really high and ask yourself a bunch of philosophical questions? Like, if 2 gay black guys have sex, is it technically incest because they're both brothers? Or how come the rising sea level never gets blamed on increasing fish population? Yeah, it's dumb, I know. And if the good really die young, Jesus would have been a stillborn. Yeah, some of you laughed at that. The rest of you're fucking going to heaven. I don't know. I wonder if cavemen had to tell their children not to draw on the walls. I met a woman who said she lost not one, but 2 children to drug addiction. But at that point, they were all she had to sell for crack money. Earlier today, I was listening to my iTunes on shuffle, and I have this really eclectic music taste. I like everything, but I had my iTunes on shuffle, and it went from a song by 21 Savage to Let It Go, that song in Frozen by Idina Menzel. Like, in an instant, I went from feeling like a hardcore gangster who wants to kill white dudes to an empowered feminist woman who wants to kill white dudes. Like, I know white men are the devil. I mean, sometimes I think about killing myself, you know, just like out of respect. That's just a joke, though. I'm not really suicidal. I will show you my teeth so that you know that I'm happy. Although if I did commit suicide, I would want to die in my sleep. I would get a water bed and an electric blanket. I read an article that said most women believe that the quickest way to a man's heart is his stomach, which is why women should not be doctors. The other day, I saw a Micah student applying for a job. I overheard him. He said, "I have $60,000 of loan debt and a bachelor's in art. What kind of job can I get?" The manager at Subway said, "How do you feel about sandwich art?" I went to an Usher concert, but all he did was walk around for 3 hours asking everyone to see their tickets. The other day I was thinking about it, and Donald Trump is kind of like the handle in a bathtub, because he gets colder the farther he is to the right, and both get turned on by his daughter when she's taking a shower. I really have to pee. My mom is what you call a hypochondriac, which means that she thinks that she's sick, even though she's not sick. My brother, he's actually a failed rapper, so same thing, really. If every time somebody said the phrase, "if I had a dime every time," they got those dimes, the lines at the Coin Star would be fucking ridiculous, man. I never know what to do with coins, man. I have a piggy bank at home, except it has pillows and it's shaped like a couch. I was talking to this girl. She said if she happened to find a $100 bill laying on the ground, she would give it back to the owner. I said, "You would be the best stripper." The worst part of your girlfriend having a miscarriage is having to be the one to push her down the stairs. I want to design a bomb. You know how in the movies the timer always goes down to 0? I want to design a bomb that blows up at like 1 minute and 52 seconds. Just so the guy trying to defuse it will die optimistic. I just imagine the guy seeing the bomb being like, "Oh no, a bomb," and then like, "Oh, there's like 2 minutes left. I got plenty of time for this shit. I'm gonna take a selfie." Hashtag badass. Sometimes I fart when I'm walking to go faster. I dated a girl who was a little bit OCD. I mean, she had to wash her hair every single time I came in it. Weirdo. Somebody once asked me, "What's the number one thing that you want in a woman?" I said, "Alcohol." Ever notice when you buy a bottle of alcohol, it comes with a brown paper bag? It's like you're getting a whole starter pack for hooking up with an ugly person. The other day, I tried to donate blood. All that did was piss off the people at Goodwill. Made me look like an asshole, standing in the middle of the parking lot, 4 garbage bags full of old tampons. I mean, I like to live every single day like it's my birthday. Like later on tonight, I might eat a cake by myself and cry because my mom doesn't call me. I always knew she wasn't the smartest person in the world. I grew up in Florida, and I remember every single time that there was a hurricane, she would always say, we need to go to the grocery store and get some water. I said respectfully, you're a fucking moron. It's a hurricane. The water will come to you. That's like buying a vibrating chair because you think an earthquake is coming. Growing up, my little brother and I, we used to play catch with our dad until one day I threw his urn so far that it broke. Then we played a game called Clean Up Dad's Ashes Before Mom Finds Out. My dad died of alcoholism. I'm a bit of a heavy drinker myself. Not too long ago, I got my first DUI. I remember my mom called me. She was crying on the phone. She said, I don't want you to make the same mistake your dad did. I said, what, drinking too much? She said, no, leaving me out of your will. I can only imagine how many wisdom teeth Confucius had. The other day I saw a sign that said yard sale. I looked at the yard, the grass was pretty green, well kept. I said, okay, I'll buy it. Now you got 1 hour to get all your shit off my yard. The other day I was gonna eat a shepherd's pie, but someone knocked it out of my hand because I was not a shepherd. The next day I was at the petting zoo with a German dog and a white cane. I was like, come here, sheep. I'm trying to migrate you. I'm freaking hungry, man. I got a mail-ordered bride, but she already had a tramp stamp, so the shipping was free. I like pencils because you can break a pencil in half, sharpen it, and then have 2. One time I asked someone to borrow a pencil. He told me he only had 1. I said, you're a fucking liar. Someone once came up to me after a show. They said I had the same vibe and energy as Mitch Hedberg. At first, I was flattered, man, but then I remembered that Mitch Hedberg is dead. Sometimes when people explain things to me, I gotta be like, hey, man, this ain't my first rodeo. But if I ever went to a rodeo, I'd be like, hey, man, this is my first rodeo. They always got a 2,000-pound bull chasing after a clown. He's got to be thinking, man, I did not go to clown college for this. Well then, motherfucker, you should have done your major in balloon animals. I used to work at a library. My girlfriend at the time tried to check out a book called How to End Your Relationship in a Passive-Aggressive Fashion. I said, you've already read this, haven't you? One time I saw a homeless guy and he was sleeping in a gas station. I said, I have a hermit crab and he lives in a shell too. One time I got kicked out the house and I had nowhere to go, so I slept in a car. Although in retrospect, a hotel would have been cheaper than an Uber. The other day, I bought a tongue depressor. Before that, my mouth just had way too much fucking self-esteem, man. I had a weird job interview for a TSA agent at an airport. He invited himself over for dinner. He got inside. I told him he had to take off his shoes. He said, okay, you're hired. Man, I lost my belly button, but I found it and I had to sew it back on. People say I'm a hard act to follow. Not because I'm really good, but because half of the shit I say does not make any sense. When I was younger, my teacher asked me how many feet are in a yard. I said, it depends on how many people are standing in it. If 2 people are standing in the yard, that's 4 feet. But she said it was 3 feet, which means that one person had 2 feet and the other one was a pirate. You did not tell me we were bringing Buccaneers into this equation. I was talking to a drug dealer. He said it's crazy out here. My life is like a movie. I said, mine too. Have you seen the 40-year-old virgin? Man, the other day I got in an argument with my girlfriend. I told her to throw out anything she doesn't wear. So she threw all my clothes out. I mean, we argue from time to time, but there's nothing better than makeup sex. I'll just be lying on the couch, making up scenarios where I'm having sex. Makeup sex is better because when I make it up, she's somebody else. And she does anal. People think marriage is a big step in life, but I think a bigger commitment is to get somebody's name tattooed on your body. If you break up and you're married, you're just like, damn, I have to take off this ring. But if you break up and you have a tattoo, you're like, damn, I have to get a bigger tattoo of a dragon or a large fish. Retail stores have an entire section for active clothing, as if to imply that all the other clothes are lazy. Get a job, sombrero. Today I learned 2 different things. Number 1, even though they call it a carpool, you're not supposed to wear your bathing suit in one. And also, somehow people can tell when you pee in it. We were stopped at a red light, and this old homeless lady starts knocking on the window, so we rolled it down. She said, I would suck a dick for a time machine and then only use it to go back in time to the point where I was sucking dick for a time machine. I said, Grandma, this is why we kicked you out the house in the first place. I was getting loans for college, but they froze my account because my grades weren't doing too well. They told me I was on academic probation. 3 weeks later, I got an email from FAFSA telling me they'll take me off academic probation if I stop mailing them piss samples. Now, I know what you're all thinking right now. You're thinking, Alan, every single joke you've told tonight has been absolutely fucking brilliant. But these are the type of jokes I'd expect to hear at my 7-year-old daughter's birthday party. Don't you worry, I save all my offensive jokes for the end. Like this one. The other day I was at a party. I saw the hottest girl I've ever seen in my life. She had drinking so much that she had passed out on the couch. Lucky. So I did what any warm-blooded male in this room would have done. I got a Sharpie and drew a penis on her face. If you thought that joke was going to have anything to do with rape, you're a terrible person. Here's a couple statistics. 73% of people fantasize about having sex at work. So I don't know why I got fired from my job as an elementary teacher. I mean, it's not like our class guinea pig had anything better to do. 82% of women say they prefer to save themselves for somebody special. I mean, I guess if you're into helmets. I broke up with my last girlfriend. She tried to save the relationship by telling me that she was pregnant with my baby. I was trying to recall the last time that we had sex, and I'll admit, for a moment I was worried. But then I remembered I was on cocaine, so it'll probably be retarded anyway. I have a little sister in high school. I think she's always felt like she could talk to me about anything. She just recently got her first boyfriend. I'd be okay with that, but she called me the other day and admitted that they were having sex. I said, if you're gonna talk to me about this, at least fucking finish and put some clothes on. That'll be the last time I accept a FaceTime call from her. Now, my last joke isn't even a joke. It's going to be a moral story about a Muslim, a Jew, a Christian, and an atheist all trapped in a building amidst a hurricane, and the power goes out. Having prepared no supplies, the Muslim, the Christian, and the Jew all pray to their respective gods that he restore the electricity to the building. 5 minutes later, by some miracle, the power comes back on. The Muslim says, "Thank Allah, he has restored the power." The Christian says, "Oh Lord Jesus, I thank you for giving me light during the darkest of times." The Jew spins a dreidel or some shit. And finally, the atheist walks up from the basement and says, "Hey guys, I turned the circuit breaker back on." My name is Alan Pysnack. Thank you for your time. You mad, bro? Why you mad, bro? I ain't mean to make you sad. Yo, my bad, bro. So what you mad for? Why you mad, bro? Why you mad? Why you mad? Why you mad, bro? You mad, bro? Why you mad, bro? I ain't mean to make you sad. Yo, my bad, bro. So what you mad for? Why you mad, bro? Why you mad? Why you mad? Why you mad, bro?